Will we do the same kind of business that we do for Manny Pacquiao? Probably not. So you adjust prices and maybe you do it at a smaller venue. But, you know, if Manny can't fight until next year, which may be the case, I mean, Jeff is a young guy and he has, we have an obligation to him to have him earn money and to keep him active.
What's your gut feel on Manny? Which way do you think he's leaning?
I don't know. You know, I've been busy with this, so I couldn't pop over to the Philippines. I'm getting everything secondhand. So maybe next week I'll, you know, get on a plane and go to Manila.
Will Jeff's next fight be part of this ESPN deal?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Jeff is now part of ESPN. You know, he was a big hit. We had him come over for the ESPYs, which is the ESPN Awards, and he walked the red carpet with his wife, and the people at ESPN really like him.
Will this even lift the ratings now you've got a permanent deal with ESPN?
Yes. I think that, and that fight in Brisbane, which was a one-off leading into this deal, we were still negotiating, really helped with the tremendous audience and what a terrific fight it was.
In terms of potential opponents, have you got anyone if Manny doesn't?
Well, there are a number of them, a number of opponents, but they're all names, and we talk to the manager, Glenn. We'll talk to him. We'll talk. You know, I'll clear everything with my partner, Dean Lonigan, and we'll come up with somebody that's very, very good. Won't be Manny Pacquiao, probably, but it'll be somebody really good.
And Manny will be next year. At what point, sir, would you look to get that?
Probably the first 3 months of the year.
So the fights that are close are Juarez, Magdaleno, Valdez, Genesis?
Juarez, Magdalena, that is October 31st. Halloween.
And Lomachenko, Rigondeaux for December?
That will be in Madison Square Garden.
What kind of fight would that be? What's the impact of that fight? Lomachenko, Rigondeaux.
I think it's too great. I mean, for me, as an old guy, I'm looking for different things for part of the legacy. And I don't know any time in history where we had a fight where each of the participants won 2 gold medals in the Olympics. I don't think that ever happened before. So for me, that's something that's really special.
Do you think there'll be a difficulty finding opponents for Terrence Crawford in the future? And
No. It's boxing. It's a professional sport. It's all MONEY.
Well, could I just ask you going to the fight tonight?
No.
No? How come?
Because
Dana White?
Because it's an event for schmucks, and I'm not a schmuck.
Even if it brings attention to boxing,
with a lot of fighters.
You're cashing in on it.
I mean, you guys came a long way to see what the truth is. This is not boxing. This is a farce. Floyd Mayweather is one of the most skilled guys going, and I mean, he proved, you know, and McGregor is a nice guy, really a good guy, and he's a terrific MMA fighter, but as a boxer, he doesn't know how to spell fight. The truth is, his stance is all wrong. Floyd will knock him out whenever he can. And you guys, when you write about it, don't blame Floyd for fleecing the public. It's not Floyd. It's, it's the foul-mouthed charlatan, I'm talking about, who stirred this up and is selling the public a bunch of nonsense.
Bob, how can boxing fans be sure that they're always going to get all the great matchups they want when there's top fighters that fight on other networks?
Well, that's true, and we're not going to make this exclusive. We're going to work with, we hope, that HBO and Showtime do great fights, and we're going to cross-pollinate, where some of our fighters might fight on an HBO card for another promoter or a Showtime card, and hopefully some of their fighters can fight our fighters on ESPN. Because the idea is to build up boxing. It's not to build up one company at the expense of the other. We have one rival, we have one villain, and that's UFC. And if we all work together, we'll defeat UFC, which I don't think is a sport that compares to boxing.
Mr. Arum, recently Juan Manuel Marquez retired. What do you think is his legacy in the sport?
A great fighter, great human being, great person. I can't say enough of Juan Manuel. We promoted a lot of his fights. He was a gentleman all the time. He gave 150% every time he fought. I mean, he's one of my favorite fighters. So, I mean, I wish him a long life and happiness in his retirement, but he gave his all for the sport of boxing.
And what about the future of Mexican boxing with Marquez?
The future of Mexican boxing is alive and well. 3 weeks from now, you have Canelo, who's a terrific fighter, fighting Triple G, and a week after that, we're going to have 2 great Mexican champions fighting in Tucson, Arizona. Oscar Valdez, who was a member of the Mexican Olympic team, featherweight champion, and Zurdo Ramirez, who was one of the best fighters in the world, the super middleweight champion.
Is Valdez one of the cornerstones of this new project?
What?
Valdez, is he one of the...
Yes, he's one of our principal fighters, absolutely. He and Ramirez.
Bob, did you see Oscar De La Hoya? He was upset about the Mayweather-McGregor going on. He's talking about Golovkin, Canelo. Do you ever get that emotional when you see...
I think Oscar, I know where Oscar's coming from. Oscar is promoting a really terrific fight. Really terrific. I have nothing to do with that fight, but Golovkin and Canelo, I can't praise it enough. And then he sees all the furor and all the attention for this piece of garbage, and he gets aggravated. I can understand that, but somebody should be counseling him to tone it down a little.
What do you make of